Hey, welcome back to Learn English with Podcasts.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Adam.
And today
Today is one of those episodes where I feel like we're being slightly dramatic.
only slightly?
Okay, very dramatic.
I think it's justified.
We'll see if the listeners agree.
They will. Okay, before we get into it, quick thing for everyone watching on YouTube. If you're not a native English speaker, which again is kind of the whole point of this podcast, you can turn on subtitles at any time. Just tap the CC button or the settings icon, choose your language, real-time translation right there on screen. Use it.
It's genuinely helpful.
Especially today because we're going to be using some very specific vocabulary.
Very specific legal vocabulary.
Well, adjacent.
Yes, okay. So this episode's verb is find, and the phrasal verbs built around find are a little different from what we've done before.
They are. Some of them are everyday English. Some of them are very formal, almost courtroom-level formal.
Which is why today's story involves a workplace dispute.
Ooh.
A real one. Well, not real, but based on a real situation.
Based on real events.
With names changed to protect the innocent.
And the not-so-innocent.
Right. So, let me set the scene.
Please.
A company, mid-size, tech sector, has 2 employees. Both have been there for years. Both are good at their jobs.
And?
And there's a promotion, 1 position, 2 candidates.
Classic.
Very classic. Now, one of them, let's call her Nina, she's been quietly building her case for months, staying late, leading meetings, documenting everything.
Smart.
Very smart. The other one, let's call him Tom. Tom is also good, but Tom has a habit of taking credit for things he didn't entirely do.
Oh,
Yes,
that kind of Tom.
that kind of Tom. So the promotion process starts, and Nina is doing everything right. She sends a detailed proposal to management. She prepares her numbers. She's ready.
And Tom?
Tom is also preparing, but Tom did something interesting.
Uh-oh.
He finds out about Nina's proposal.
Wait, how?
That's the question. He claims he just heard about it in passing. Someone mentioned it. But Nina thinks someone gave him access to her work because his counterproposal was suspiciously similar.
That's a serious accusation.
It is, and that's what makes this story interesting. Because Nina doesn't just get upset and complain. She actually starts investigating.
She finds out?
She starts trying to find out. She goes back through emails, through shared documents. She talks to colleagues. She's building a picture.
And what does she find?
She finds a paper trail, old messages, a shared folder that Tom had access to.
He accessed her files?
It looks that way, and here's where it escalates.
It's already escalating.
Right. Nina goes to HR. She files a formal complaint.
Wow.
And HR opens an internal investigation, which in this company is basically a mini tribunal.
An internal review.
Yes, and during the review, they find out officially that Tom had indeed accessed the shared folder that Nina believed was private.
So he did do it.
They confirm it. The review committee finds out about a pattern of behavior, actually, not just this one incident, multiple times over the past year where Tom had accessed colleagues' work and used it without credit.
That's not a mistake. That's a pattern.
Exactly what HR concluded.
So what happened?
So here's where the language gets interesting, because the HR committee doesn't just say, Tom, you were wrong. They issue a formal decision.
A formal decision.
Yes, and in that decision, they find for Nina.
Find for.
Meaning they rule in her favor. They decide the complaint is valid. They side with Nina.
And Tom?
They find against Tom.
Officially.
Officially. Which means the committee determines that Tom violated internal policy, that his actions were not acceptable, that he is responsible.
What happened to him?
He didn't get the promotion, obviously. He also received a formal written warning, and he had to attend some mandatory workplace ethics training.
Which is probably deeply uncomfortable.
Probably very uncomfortable. And Nina?
Did she get the promotion?
She did not.
What?
They decided to pause the promotion entirely, restart the process with different candidates.
That is
Complicated.
very complicated. She wins the case and still doesn't get the job.
Right, which is its own kind of injustice. But at least her name is cleared. The record shows the committee found for her and found against Tom.
There's something almost legal about this story.
That's because the language we're using is legal. Or at least, it comes from legal contexts.
And that's actually the fascinating thing about today's verbs. Find is such a simple word.
One of the first verbs you learn in English.
Right. I find my keys. I find a restaurant.
Very simple.
And then you add a particle, and suddenly it's completely different.
Suddenly, you're in a courtroom.
Or an HR investigation.
Which, depending on your industry, is basically the same thing.
Huh. Fair point.
So the 4 phrasal verbs in today's episode are actually really interesting because 2 of them are for everyday discovery.
Finding things out, learning things.
And 2 of them are specifically for formal decisions, legal rulings, tribunal outcomes.
And knowing the difference matters.
It really does. If you work in law, compliance, HR, insurance, international business,
You will encounter this language.
and if you're preparing for the TOEIC or IELTS, especially the reading comprehension sections,
These verbs appear.
they come up in business texts, legal notices, professional correspondence.
So it's not just useful for people in formal jobs,
It's useful for anyone who reads professional English.
which is most of the people listening to this.
Exactly. So let's break all 4 of them down properly with the particle logic, examples, and everything.
4 verbs, 2 modes, discovery and decision,
And a story that started with a suspicious shared folder.
and ended with HR.
As so many things do.
Okay, let's get into the teaching part.
4 phrasal verbs, all built around find.
4, which sounds manageable.
It is, but here's what makes this group special. Because unlike most verb families we've covered, these 4 split into 2 very distinct categories.
2 modes.
Exactly. 2 of them are about discovery, learning something, finding information.
And the other 2?
The other 2 are about decisions, formal rulings, legal outcomes.
Which is not what most people expect when they hear the word find.
Right. You think find, you think keys, you think wallet, you think...
Your glasses on top of your head.
Exactly. Not a tribunal ruling in someone's favor.
And yet, that's exactly where this verb goes.
So let's start with the discovery verbs, because that's the more intuitive side. First one, to find out.
Find out. So in the story, what did Nina do?
Nina found out. She investigated. She dug through emails, documents, shared folders, and she found out the truth.
She discovered it.
Right. To find out means to discover something, to learn a piece of information, whether you were looking for it or it just landed on you.
It can be intentional or accidental.
Both. If you're investigating, you find out. If someone tells you something unexpected, you also find out.
We found out the project had already been delayed by 3 weeks.
Nobody planned to discover this, but there it is. They found out.
Or more actively, she worked through the weekend to find out what went wrong with the data.
She's looking for the answer. She's trying to find out.
The particle out.
Out is doing something very specific here. Information was hidden. It was inside somewhere, inside a system, inside a situation, inside someone's head. And out means it's now exposed. It's surfaced. It came out of its hiding place.
You extracted it.
Or it was extracted for you. Either way, it's now out, visible, known.
Find out means to discover or learn a piece of information, intentionally or not.
Second one, to find out about.
Now, this one is very close to find out, but there is a difference.
There is, and it's a subtle one. Find out is about the discovery itself, the moment of learning.
And find out about is about learning more on a subject, getting information regarding a specific topic.
Right. In the story, Tom finds out about Nina's proposal. He learns information about it. He gains knowledge of the subject.
He didn't just discover a random fact, he found out about something specific.
Exactly. For example, can you find out about the new compliance regulations before Monday?
You're asking someone to research a topic, to gather information about something precise.
Or, I found out about the vacancy through a colleague.
You learned about a specific thing, the vacancy. That's the subject.
The difference is focus. Find out is you discovered something. Find out about is you learned information regarding a specific subject.
It's the about that anchors the topic.
Exactly. The particle out still does the same job, extracting hidden information, but about then specifies what subject that information concerns.
So if someone asks, "Did you find out?" that means, "Did you get the answer?"
And if someone asks, "Did you find out about the meeting?" that means, "Did you get information specifically about the meeting?"
The nuance matters.
It really does, especially in professional emails. Please find out about the delivery status versus please find out what happened.
One is scoped, one is open.
Find out about equals to research or gather information on a specific topic or subject.
Now, third one, and this is where it gets interesting.
This is where we cross into courtroom territory.
To find for.
To find for. In the story, the HR committee found for Nina. They ruled in her favor. They decided she was right.
So, find for means to rule in favor of someone, to decide on their side.
In a formal context, a legal case, an arbitration, an internal tribunal, a formal dispute resolution.
This is not everyday English.
No, you would never say, "I find for pizza." That's not a thing.
Although, honestly,
No. Find for is formal. It belongs in legal English, business law, compliance, HR proceedings.
for example, the arbitration panel found for the plaintiff after reviewing the evidence.
The panel ruled in the plaintiff's favor. They decided for them.
The committee found for the employee following the internal review.
The decision went her way. She was vindicated.
The particle for.
For is about support, alignment, being on someone's side. The decision goes toward them, for them.
It's the same for as in I'm rooting for you, but made official, legal, binding.
Exactly. Find for to officially rule or decide in someone's favor in a formal proceeding.
And the opposite. Fourth one, to find against.
The dark side of the same coin.
In the story, the committee found against Tom. They ruled against him. He was held responsible.
Find against means to rule against someone in a formal decision, to decide that they are in the wrong, that they are liable or at fault or in violation.
The tribunal found against the company for failing to meet safety standards.
The decision went against them. They lost. They were found to be at fault.
Or if the committee finds against you, the consequences are recorded in your file.
Very serious, very formal.
The particle against.
Against is opposition. The decision moves against someone. It goes in the opposite direction from their interests.
It pushes against them rather than toward them.
Exactly. And if you put find for and find against side by side, they're the two possible outcomes of any formal ruling.
Someone is found for. Someone is found against.
Every formal dispute ends one of those two ways.
And now you know the correct English to describe both.
Find against equals to officially rule or decide against someone in a formal proceeding.
All right, 4 verbs. Let's recap.
Find out. To discover or learn information intentionally or by chance.
Find out about. To research and gather information on a specific topic.
Find for. To rule officially in someone's favor.
Find against. To rule officially against someone.
2 verbs for discovery. 2 verbs for formal decisions.
And the connecting thread?
They all involve revealing something, a truth, a verdict, a conclusion.
Find is never passive in these constructions. Something is always uncovered.
Always, which is actually a nice metaphor for what we do here.
Every episode, we uncover the logic.
We find out about the particles.
We find out what makes each verb tick.
And hopefully you find out something new every time.
Okay, before we close, a quick word about the article.
Yes, so everything we just covered is also in written form on aid-test-anglais.com.
The full breakdown, all 4 verbs, with definitions, examples, and the particle logic laid out clearly.
And there's a quiz, 5 questions, to check whether you actually retained the distinction between find out and find out about.
Because they feel similar.
They are similar, but the quiz will make the difference click.
The link is in the description below this video and in the show notes if you're on podcast platforms.
Go read the article, do the quiz, then come back here and tell us your score.
We always love hearing from you.
Always. All right, everyone. Episode 21 done.
9 more to go.
We're getting close.
Getting close.
Thank you so much for being here, for listening, for learning.
Every episode is a step forward.
It really is. Take care of yourselves.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.